Hello, guys. This is going to be my first podcast, the first episode of this podcast. My show is going to be all about Game of Thrones. I'm not going to discuss one on one each episode, but now I'm going to give some importance to some moments which made me realize that Game of Thrones is not about war, it's not about fantasy only, it's not about politics or friendship. Game of Thrones is an epic TV series dedicated to all of the most fundamental elements of life. Last episode, the ninth episode of season 6, was called Battle of the Bastards. Well, we saw many very intriguing things. We saw Ramsay Bolton going one-on-one with the Great One. Jon Snow has many fans. Jon Snow may not be Snow at all. We're going to see where maybe there is going to be a big surprise, or it won't be a surprise for most of the fans, who have predicted that Jon is indeed not a Stark, but a Targaryen. So in the Battle of the Bastards episode, we saw many interesting things. For example, there was some animosity between Jon Snow and Sansa. The battle itself was very good. I think all the shots were great. The battle scenes were pretty nice. The battle itself was decent. For sure, there were some weak moments. I'm not happy with Jon being so weak as a commander, as a leader. He didn't show many leadership skills. He certainly lacks some organization skills, and maybe this is some of the reasons why Sansa wanted not to tell him that she has a backup plan. And her backup plan was Littlefinger. Well, we all know that the character of Littlefinger, Peter Baelish, is all about going from the back. He is a cunning, smart, astute character who is going to do anything within his power in order to succeed. But one of the questions that I want to discuss now is, what's the biggest aim of Littlefinger? Many thought that Peter Baelish was all about money, all about the money, all about the success. But in this season, I think we see a more human side of this character. I think Littlefinger is, without a shadow of a doubt, in love with Sansa. Maybe, and this is creepy, I know, his love for Catelyn, which was never ambiguous, which was never happily ended, didn't go well. So maybe his love for Catelyn is now being transformed to some feelings towards her daughter. Of course, the intentions which Littlefinger expresses towards Sansa are not only romantic. He certainly has feelings for her, but I personally reckon that his mainly purpose is to gain control of the North. Nowadays, starting season 6, episode 9, Littlefinger was the Lord Protector, the Warden, so-called, the Warden of the Vale. And he's the one beside Robert Arryn, I think, that little guy who was being breastfed by his mother until he was 11 years or 9 years of age or so. that is so wrong, that is so sick, it's not normal. Well, that's not the point here. So we were discussing. I was discussing. I'm not Napoleon. I was discussing Littlefinger. Maybe Sansa is his main aim, his object for gaining power, because knowledge is power. That's the one line that Littlefinger says to Cersei in season 1. And what knowledge does Littlefinger possess? Well, first things first. He knows that Sansa is the lawful heir of the seat of Winterfell. I think they assume that Bran is dead. Rickon has been killed off in the last episode. So Jon is a bastard. His claim is not as strong as Sansa's. So maybe Littlefinger wants to marry Sansa. And this is the cost. This is the cost that Sansa has to pay for Littlefinger's help. Because if Littlefinger didn't intervene in the Battle of the Bastards, I think their army was going to be absolutely crushed. They're going to be killed one by one. Jon was going to be dead. So Sansa prevented that. And she didn't do it all alone. She didn't do it all by herself. Littlefinger did that. Littlefinger was the one which helped Sansa gain the North. Littlefinger helped the Starks, the last living Stark, maybe, because they don't know. Again, I'm repeating the fact that they're not sure. They're presuming that Bran is already dead. So I think in the last episode, in the 10th episode of this season, we're going to see Littlefinger claim his intentions towards Sansa. He wants to marry her. He wants to be the Warden of the North. But the most burning question here is Sansa going to reject Peter Baelish? Or she's simply going to say, yes, I want to marry you, and stuff like that. No, I don't think it's going to happen. Sansa is very clever now. She's a more cold and calculated person. She has matured a lot since season 1. And the most important thing to note is that now she has Jon Snow's back. Jon has the army of the wildlings, so Sansa is not alone in her struggle for power. And Sansa wants one thing. Well, indeed, she now wants one thing. She wants Winterfell. She wants control of the North. She wanted to avenge his father's death, and maybe she wants it even more now, when she has more power and more control. But one of her main goals was to kill Ramsay Bolton, the bastard of Roose Bolton, who killed his father, and who raped her brutally. He made her suffer many things, and I think that the Ramsay effect is going to wake her at night many more nights to come, because well, did you notice something odd in the last scene of last episode? When Sansa was preparing the hounds to eat his proper own hounds, to eat Ramsay alive, Ramsay, just before his death, said to her, "A piece of me is inside you now." Some of the Game of Thrones community, some of the fans said that maybe this is, well, perhaps she's pregnant now with child from Ramsay. I think that's not the case. They're definitely not going in that route. This way is a one-sided way. What's the point of Sansa having Ramsay's child? Ramsay's nobody. I think that what Ramsay meant was that Sansa has changed. Her personality has been transformed into a more deep character. She's now more mature, and she has some evil intentions to kill them all, which is going to be perfect. Stupid Sansa was boring. Evil Sansa is a little better. Not perfect, but better. Of course, not as good as Arya. Arya is definitely a more intense character. She's more likable in a way that she's little. She's low of age, but she's very brave, and she wants to avenge with her own hand. She wants to kill personally. Cersei, poor Joffrey drank too much wine. The wine was poisoned, so Joffrey's dead. So Arya can't kill him right now. Maybe Joffrey is going to be a White Walker. He's going to go, oh, I'm a White Walker. Fuck off. That's not gonna happen. Joffrey is dead. But so was Jon. So who knows? Well, I'm going to discuss some other points now. I think that the Battle of the Bastards is going to have some pretty good damn significance in the following episodes of Season 7. So, we have to say that the North is Stark's home once again. The Starks have lost Winterfell for a couple of years, I think. But now that the Boltons have been excluded from the equation, the Starks are the lords. And I think this is going to be very interesting. I don't think that Sansa is going to say, well, I'm here, I have a fire, I have a home, I have Johnny Boy Snow, and I'm going to be all that calm. She's going to kill, she's going to destroy, she's going to murder Lannister. And this is going to be great television. Which brings me to another question, another burning, hot question. Who is going to rule the North? Well, while Bran is way beyond the wall, he is the rightful heir to the seat of Winterfell. Because he's the only legitimate son of Eddard Stark, who is alive now, given that Rickon has been killed by Ramsay Bolton, and Jon is a bastard. Sansa is the next in line, because she's a female. And discrimination in this age, the medieval age of Game of Thrones, is a good thing. So there ain't no equality between men and women. Men are more. So I don't think that this is some form of discrimination. This is how life was back in the day, in the past. And George Martin's novel, The Song of Ice and Fire, is definitely taking place in a world where the time is in the past. So yeah, Sansa has to wait for Bran. But there is a big problem. Sansa doesn't know that Bran is alive. So she's going to make her claim for the seat of Winterfell. Which brings us to another question. What is Jon going to do about that? Well, I think that Jon is feeling a little bit disappointed with her. And definitely, as we have seen in the trailer already, there is going to be a dialogue, a scene between Jon and Sansa, where they discuss the matter of Sansa not telling Jon about the help provided by the Knights of the Vale and Peter Baelish. So we see in the trailer Jon telling Sansa, we have to trust each other, we're brother and sister. Well, yeah, they have to trust each other, but do they? No. I think Sansa is going on her own now. She's going to claim Winterfell and she's going to rule Winterfell. But that doesn't mean that Jon is going to be without food. He's going to eat some more food. He's going to eat something bigger. A bigger price for a man with more potential. I think Jon's potential is big. I think George Martin's plans and the producers of Game of Thrones, the TV series, plans are bigger than Jon claiming the North, than Jon possessing only Winterfell. I think Jon is going to aim for the Iron Throne of Westeros. And this is going to be huge. Well, I think that episode 10, the last episode of season 6, is going to give us something big in terms of the revealing, the big revelation that Jon is a Targaryen heir, that Jon is the son of Rhaegar Targaryen, and what was his wife's name? She's not his wife. His wife was murdered by the Mountain. I meant the sister of Eddard Stark, Lyanna Stark. How can I forget her name? But it happens. So yeah, we're gonna see the big reveal, and I think that Jon is definitely a Targaryen. One problem is that his hair is not that fair. He has no fair hair. He has dark hair, and this is a big problem. How is he going to prove that he is dark? I don't know. I think that one fact is going to help Jon show the world that he is a Targaryen. Going to the tombs of Winterfell. In the last episode, we see a scene in the final minutes of the last episode, a scene between Sansa and Jon and the Tormund and another guy from the Wildlings. And the two Wildling guys are bringing the corpse of Jon's little brother, Rickon Stark. And Jon says to them, I want to bury him in the crypts. I want to bury him in the tomb, in the crypts where the tomb of my father and my grandfather lies. So he's going to go to the crypts, and from all that we know from the books and from the TV series, the crypts of Winterfell, where the tombs of ancient kings of the North are situated, has some very big meaning, has some fundamental importance, which is going to be showed, which is going to be revealed in the last episode of season 6. That's my guess, that's my prediction, but how it is going to play out is the big question. I think the sequence of the Tower of Joy scene that we saw back in one of the first episodes of this season is going to, well, we're going to see the last the sequel. The Tower of Joy scene, ended with Bran going back in the past and whispering father to Ned Stark, and we see Ned looking, well, he looks beside his back and says, and he's all, I don't know, he's hearing some voices. Maybe he has to go to the psychiatrist, I don't know. But yeah, this is Bran's voice in the past. So is Bran going to change something? This is a question which I'm going to discuss in one of my other episodes. So tune in and watch. But right now, I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about the character of Cersei Lannister. And with that being said, I want to make some predictions about the season final, which is definitely where Cersei Lannister is going, the Queen Regent, is going to play, I think, a pretty damn good role. She's going to have a huge importance in the season final. My prediction is that King's Landing is going to burn. Well, Cersei is going to say, come on, it's time for some wildfire party. time to go Mad King at all. So Aerys II Targaryen didn't burn the city because Jaime Lannister killed him. And I think Cersei is going to try to burn King's Landing to the ground. But she's gonna get herself killed. And here comes the huge surprise. By Jaime Lannister. And nobody else. Jaime is gonna kill Cersei. He did it once to save the city. He killed Aerys Targaryen, and now he's gonna kill his lover and his sister, once at a time. So this is my prediction about her story. This is definitely going to be a very dramatic end to Cersei Lannister's story, because Cersei has been such a compelling character in the books, both in the books of George Martin and in the TV series. From a severe, brutal villain, Cersei has grown a mature character, which expresses freely her love for her child, Tommen the king, and she's mourning about the death of her previous two childs. So, yeah, she's going to lose another, I think. And this is my other prediction. I think that one thing is sure. Tommen, first of his name, the king of the Andals, the first man. I'm not going to spell it out loud like Dany, Daenerys Targaryen. She's definitely so boring. She always stays there and starts like a good learner to express her titles. She has only titles, and of course, beyond titles, she has dragons. But I don't have dragons, so I won't bore you, because I can't defend myself if I start making boring lessons about the titles of Westeros. So, I think what's most important is Cersei. First, Cersei is going to try to burn King's Landing to the ground. She may get killed. She may get killed in the process. She may not. But one thing is sure, and it's that the boy king, that funny guy, little guy, Tommen, who plays king, is gonna get himself killed. Which is a good thing, because everybody hates Tommen. Who the fuck is Tommen? Tommen is boring. Tommen can't handle his wife, because his wife Marjorie is way more clever than him. She's manipulating him. She's playing with him like a little toy, and he's a little toy. He's being played all his life, all way long, by her. First by his mother, then by his sister. The only guy that suffered his wrath was his father, and I mean Jaime Lannister. He's his father, because Tommen is product of an incest. We all know that. But well, Jaime, for my deepest unpleasure, is being portrayed as a, I don't know, a very plain character without the depth we see in the books. Because in the George Martin's novels, Jaime Lannister is way more powerful in his mind. He's way more clever. He's such more a compelling, complex character. But in the TV series, Jaime is being manipulated too, just like his son Tommen by Cersei Lannister. But I think this is going to come to an abrupt end, to a dramatic abrupt end, when Jaime finally understands that there ain't no hope for Cersei, there ain't no hope for the Queen Regent, and maybe he's going to sacrifice her in order to save the city once again, thus becoming a hero, this time a true hero, recognized by the people. But Tommen, the king, is going to be, well, he's going to be sacrificed by his mother. Why, you may ask? Well, I think Cersei's biggest rival right now, and it's her rival for power and for control over Tommen, over the king, is the High Sparrow, called in Bulgarian, или казано на български, наричан още, както каза едно интересно, сладко момиче, което така беше чула този превод на български. So his name, the High Sparrow, is called in Bulgarian Vrabecът, or something like that. if you guys are listening to my podcast in English, Verbecet is the best nickname that a Bulgarian translator has to come up with. The High Sparrow or Visoke Verbec or something shit like that. Okay, so guys, this is my prediction. This is my prediction about the 10th episode, the season final. I'm going to make another podcast about certain characters, all about the end of this season. So if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, and we're going to see each other soon. Bye bye.